to be in the here and now where there's timing. You're safe here. It's not happening now. And to practice the mindfulness, which is the here and now, which is I'm observing what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. I'm observing what I'm feeling. You can do some sensory stuff to ground you. You could put some chewing gum in your mouth and just enjoy the flavor and describe it, because it takes you from your amygdala floating and it centers you back into your body and your precision and your ability to pay attention and to be online. That's something you can do with mindfulness, becoming aware, describing, participating in the here and now. And then not denying, but delaying so that you can react, so you won't react and you can respond. Breathing and mindfulness helps you to respond. So it puts a pause in your ability. It puts a pause in what's going on so that you can have time to think and process. So, and you have to become good at that, because your emotions, remember, there's no time frame and everything is just sporadic. So the breathing, the mindfulness slows things down, allows you to have control over your emotions. Empowerment. And then there's opening your heart. After you calm down, this is also an advanced level technique for the prefrontal cortex. Open your mind, your unconscious and your conscious mind, to the idea of forgiving. This is a tactic. How would my life be if I forgave? Just imagine. Just go there. You think about it, have your client think about it, have the person in your congregation think about it. What would my life be like if I weren't carrying this anger, resentment, and trauma in my body? And then you might have to help them suggest, what was it like before? Because you might have to give them a prior experience so that they can remember that once upon a time they did feel safe. Or even in movies, what do you see? What do you imagine it looks like? When you see people living and running and happy and loving, what do you think that looks like? Because you have to help them visualize so that they can actually have a goal. The thought is a seed, and then it develops. Forgiveness, the thought of forgiveness becomes a seed that, when watered, can equal forgiveness. And then you can have them think, and you can think of a loved one that you've forgiven in the past. How did that feel? Use that experience. Think of a time when you were forgiven. How did that feel? Think of times where maybe God has forgiven you. It's about opening your heart and allowing the love to flow, and to know that if your heart is not open, it's closed, and you're not able to get the love that you need. So during this time, as your heart is opening, you're acknowledging your faults, you're replacing your thoughts, and you're looking at the weight of unforgiveness as you open your mind and your heart to, the forgiveness process and how light your life would be if you were able to forgive. And remember, after you are able to open your heart and then you want to move into the conversation, you get to address the violation. And you start addressing the violation. Let me back up. You start addressing the violation with yourself. And that's what mindfulness does. It allows you to look on the experience and get honest, get heart to heart with yourself, and really know that you get to address and protest what happened. And then after you protest and you acknowledge, because denial takes your brain offline because it's all in the feelings and you're just ignoring. But once you acknowledge it, it happened, it's real, and I feel this way, unpack the feelings. Not just the anger, keep going, keep digging. Underneath that anger, you're going to find that you feel disrespected, you feel unvalued, you feel disconnected, you feel unloved, you feel scared, you feel fearful that people don't respect you enough to take care of you. So underneath all of that, you got to keep going, be brave, and keep going and keep going. And then you can heal it. You can heal it if you deal with, if you can deal with it, you can heal it. But if you don't deal with it, you can't heal it. I know that sounds poetic, but it's the truth. You cannot heal what you won't confront. All of the emotions, allow yourself to be vulnerable to it. That's a tactic and helps you overcome it. And then you use I statements. I statements help you to own your feelings. Not you did this, you did that. I feel hurt. I feel abused. I feel devalued. I feel objectified. I feel nasty, dirty. You get to allow yourself to examine what you feel so that you can heal what you feel and bring in your prefrontal cortex to rationalize it. And then you get to grieve what was lost. You do get to grieve. You do get to grieve what the event meant, what you lost, the respect, the innocence, all of it. And then you have to move into reality acceptance. The truth is, it is what it is. All humans, we're all human, and it happens. And you also get to acknowledge, I need to heal. This is what you need to accept in reality. We're all human. It happened, and I need to heal. I'll say it again for the people in the back. We're all human. It happened, and I need to heal. Those are facts. You can't get away from that. We're all human. Unless I go to Mars and find people there, I'm always going to be surrounded by humans. So I have to accept that this is part of the human process, learning on each other. It's part of it. It happened. I can't erase it. I can't magically make it go away. Making people suffer will not make it go away. And most importantly, I need to heal, and I can heal. That's reality acceptance. And then you get to say, okay, in all this reality, what do I want that I can get? What do I want? Do I have unrealistic wants? What do I want that I can get? More than anything, do I want to be happy? Do I want to have good health? Do I want to be mature and forgiving? We get to decide that. And then there is a choosing to forgive and to do things that support the decision. Because after you choose to forgive, it is a 100% decision. Sometimes there's a feeling involved. I just feel like forgiving. Most of the times it won't be, the feelings won't be there. The decision can be there without the feelings, because the decision comes from here, the emotions come from here. So when you make the decision, then every behavior after that has to support it. If I say I'm going to forgive, then I have to think kind of the person, think kindly of the person. I have to be willing to hear the apology. I have to be willing to not seek revenge, not to want the demise of the person who hurt me. And then you want to just visualize well for the other person and visualize releasing the person. Because when you visualize releasing the person, you're going to feel the benefit of being released. So releasing the person actually releases you. It releases you from the pain and the trauma. What a benefit. It releases them, we're interconnected, and it releases us. And it shows God that we understand that He releases us and He loves us. And we become involved in the circle of releasing. Because if you're not in the circle of releasing and you're in the law of holding, now you've just entered into a different paradigm, and you're holding and you're being held. You're holding and you're being held. So you have to decide what paradigm or what circle of action do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the holding pattern and the unforgiven and the sick pattern? Or do you want to be in the released pattern where you're being released and you are releasing? I'm being released and I'm releasing. I'm holding and I'm being held. The decision is ours. And looking at that, further benefits need to be assessed to create motivation, such as personal development. I want to be whole. I want to be a mature person. I want to not be hindered and immobilized by the actions of other people. I want to be who I am. I want to choose who I am. I don't want what happened to me to choose who I am. I want to be who I want to be. If I want to be loving, kind, forgiving, I want to be that. And I don't want the actions of others to dictate who I am. I want to take control of my life and how I show up in the world. You get to decide that. You get to choose wellness as a motivation. Forgiveness is pain's medication. Forgiveness is the only thing that heals the pain of offense. Forgiveness is a balm, a healing balm. And it is the only healing, it's the only thing that can heal an offense. Forgiveness is a healing balm. It directly heals the cells and it directly heals your brain. It's a healing, it's an anesthesia that is more powerful than medication or any of those things. Your healing and is in your hands. The injury was not in your hands, but the healing is in your hand. You have the potion. You have the ingredient. It cost humility and it cost for you to let go of the resentment, but you have to be motivated that when I forgive, I'm releasing healing to myself and I've entered into that realm of healing and I get to send healing and restoration to the person. They need it. They're messed up. They need it. And life is going to work them out because they're going to deal with what they did. And so then you're deciding to show your family members what health and forgiveness looks like and how there's strength and forgiving and walking in unity. And your kids get to enjoy each other, your grandkids, your legacy. You get to be an example in the earth of forgiveness and the power of forgiveness. Oh, there's power. And you get to be a representative. You get to be a Navy SEALsman. You get to be part of the elite club. And the world needs a few good soldiers. Yeah, some family members are soldiers. They're walking in forgiveness when other people are choosing not to. So you get to decide the legacy you want to leave. And you get to decide how you want your family to be impacted. Do you want to be a negative influence or positive? Remember, change. One person changes in a system, the system changes, and you want to be a positive change. Finally, forgiveness is self-disclosure. It is disclosing I'm not perfect, and neither are my family members, and it's okay. I love them, and we can work through this, and we can set up some boundaries, and we can keep each other safe. But forgiveness is self-disclosure. I'm not perfect, neither is anyone else. I'm going to need forgiveness. I have needed forgiveness, and I'm not perfect. So there's the humility. Forgiveness is self-disclosure. Forgiveness releases negative entanglements. You don't want to be connected to people who you say you're not in relationship with, but you are in relationship with them in a negative way. You're stuck in the cycle of holding, being unforgiving and not being forgiven. You have to stay connected in that negative way because we're either connected to people in a positive way or a negative way. That's the law of entanglement. One particle impacts the other particle, and when one particle moves, the other particle moves. So if you move in unforgiveness, you're moving in the negativity. You get to decide. You get to decide to release the pain in your cells and your neurons, where all the memories and all the pain is stored. You get to heal that. You get to choose well-being. It's a matter of life and death. Forgiveness is a matter of life and death. And guess what? You get to choose to live. I get to choose to live. We get to encourage people to choose life and to choose freedom and to choose healing by forgiving.